Welcome to SAT TV News. I'm Shana Esprit, your presenter. Among the major developments, evangelical churches strongly opposes changes of homosexuality law. Cayman Islands gets a new premier. Chinese baby fell into sewage pipe accidentally. And in sports division to host 2013 Cricket Festival. Details of these will follow.
This is Colton T and you're watching SAT TV. Stay tuned. Cause SAT is everything in more I want. SAT, you're all I really need. I'm say, oh my, yeah. I'm say, SAT, your flows that I love. And I never felt this way before. But SAT with every king. Yeah, and I felt a peace, yes. I'm say, yeah, this is my breed. But I'm a SAT, it's your loving that I need. And surprising, you're that special lady. I said, the carrots to my peace. SAT is everything in more I want, yeah.
Welcome back. In observance of World Environment Day, youth and community-based organizations along with other interested persons have come together to organize simultaneous hikes and trail segments. National Trail Day will be celebrated on June 8, 2013, focusing on the theme Appreciating Our Environment. The objective of the Trail Day is to bring greater appreciation to the Waitukubuli National Trail by fostering a sense of ownership and guardianship of the trail by residents.
The National Trail Day, or as it was earlier known, National Trail Appreciation Day, came about as a result of our need to get young persons and the general public overall to embrace the Waitukubuli National Trail. It also was seen as an opportunity for young persons to learn more about the physical environment, but also incorporating aspects of our social environment as well in that regard, in terms of collaboration with each other, partnerships, in terms of looking out for maintenance of the trail within their various and respective communities.
Mr. Williams listed his expectations on National Trail Day.
So we expect hundreds of young persons on that day to go forth on the trail to engage not only in hiking but in also in some preservation activities, planting of trees and other such activities that can enhance and develop the trail as well. The trail in itself is already a well-established tourist site or established tourist activity, but we still want Dominicans themselves to show an appreciation for it, and I think that National Trail Day will grow to becoming an activity where Dominicans can look forward to every year on the national calendar.
He encouraged young persons to use the social media to engage in the promotion of Dominica's natural wonders as a tourist destination. Mrs. Rosalind Paul, the Trail Operations Officer, spoke on the benefits of having a National Trail Day.
The first annual National Trail Day is going to take place on the 8th of June as a culminating activity to World Environment Day, which is June 5th every year. So we'll be having a series of activities, but ending with the National Trail Day. And this is very important to the mandate of the Trail Management Unit. As any other trail in the world, conservation is a critical part of the trail, of any trail, because without conservation, without protecting the integrity of the trail, without protecting and conserving the various cultural and natural assets along the trail, then we do not have the trail to even experience further.
She said National Trail Day adds to their community and outreach program, where they always encourage visitors to first appreciate what Dominica has to offer, then share their experiences with others.
So I would like to see persons coming forward to register and to participate in this activity by calling upon their youth officers to see how they can get on board, calling in terms of the Waitukubuli National Trail Unit indicating that they would like to participate. We are working feverishly in terms of getting support for this activity. in terms of getting water bottles, t-shirts, getting different items where we can distribute to the many groups that are participating. We wish that we can get for everybody, but we have to do it on first come, first serve basis. So we're hoping that everybody will try and come first come. So it will be something that we can be proud of.
The event will be held annually and all Dominicans are being encouraged to register. In other stories, it is always good to thank the people who help you, which is something rarely exercised in today's society. However, the management and the staff of the Grotto Home for the Homeless thanked all who donated and continue to donate to the construction of the new building currently being built in Bellevue Roll. In a ceremony held on Tuesday, May 28th, they thanked the Baptist builders, Mr. Nathan Joff, and his team from Jacksonville, Florida, who has been instrumental in sourcing and donating materials. The donors from Carmel Baptist Church in North Carolina have also been helping Dominicans through Deliverance Baptist Church since 1998. Mr. Davis Later, board member of the Grotto Home for the Homeless, stated, although a lot of work has been done, there is more to do before the project can be completed.
We still have another dormitory to construct, as well as the main complex building to house the laundry, office, dining room, common area, etc. And that we still require resources for. I'll speak to in a little while. But while I'm saying thanks, I also would like to thank our building committee, and the persons on that committee comprise, of course, the builder, Wilson Romain. We have individuals like Mr. Egbert Charles, Lynn Giro, Vivian Trotter, who is with me here this afternoon, providing technical expertise on this project, Paul Green, Parry Bellot, Tina Alexander, Earl Loda, Balthazar Watt, Eric James, and Dave Serra, Pastor Serra, who has been very instrumental in getting the Baptist group in Dominica. To date, we have spent in excess of $560,000 on this project, and most of these funds is as a result of what the compensation that we received from government for acquiring the property of the grotto previously.
The work already completed is valued at over $700,000, thanks to your generous donation of the materials and labor for both the roofs. Mr. Leta says they are seeking a donor to cover Dormitory Free, which is the facility for sheltering the literally homeless, especially during bad weather. This is likely to cost a further $400,000. He noted there is a proposal currently with government for the main complex, comprising of the dining room, kitchen, laundry, chapel, and offices, costing an estimated EC $800,000 to be considered on the Basic Need Trust Fund 7.
Again, I just want to thank our friends from North America, the Baptist group, Pastor Sarah, for having brought them, for not just the work that they're doing with us at the Grotto, but also the work that they have done previously in Dominica to bring relief to a lot of our vulnerable brothers and sisters.
Mr. Nathan Joff and his team from Jacksonville, Florida, who helped source materials and donated equipment to the project, stated he is pleased to partner with the Grotto to assist in the construction of this facility.
The Bible says that what you do for the least of these, you do for me. And these people are truly the least of these. We walk by them on the streets, and many times we don't even notice that when the rain comes down, they don't have a place to go. And so we hope to continue our partnership with the Grotto Ministries and get these buildings completed. I would encourage everyone listening today to give a little bit, whatever they have, whether it's some time or whether it's some money, but something that we can get these buildings done and we can home those people, shelter those people that don't have shelter. Thank you again for the committee. We feel very welcome here. We look forward to getting the third building completed and getting that roof completed. As the chairman said, we have partnered with the Grotto to complete the roofs, and we are working on other donations and trying to get other people supporting. So we would encourage the people of Dominica to give what you can and help the Grotto complete this very worthy cause to shelter the homeless of Dominica.
Several businesses have already assisted in the project, including Astor funds for the loan of a container, which is currently storing new mattresses donated by the Rotary Club, E.H. Charles for discounts on materials, and to Raffle and Company for donation of materials. King's Garment also committed to providing EC $5,000 worth of security services. Mr. Leta mentioned they hope other corporate citizens, churches, and organizations will follow suit to meeting the needs of most vulnerable in society, the homeless. When completed, the custom-built home will provide shelter for 50 vulnerable homeless individuals and will be used as a resource for sheltering and aiding the potential rehabilitation of a further 50 persons who live on the streets. In more news, President of the Dominica Association of Evangelical Churches, DAEC, Bishop Bill Daniel addressed Dominicans at a press conference on Wednesday, 29th May 2013, emphasizing its stance on the practice of homosexuality. Homosexuality is the crown of perversion and leads to further perversion and illicit sexual practices, Mr. Daniel continued.
The Bible reminds us in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20 and 21, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the Scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time, but the will of man. But holy men of God, spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. This position, therefore, reflects the evangelicals' position. Human rights and violence.
Although homosexuality, like every other sin, is practiced in Dominica, the pastor believes that the legitimizing of such sinful acts will have negative impacts on the future generation and society.
One of the main concepts is the legal authority given for same-sex union. This action has redefined the definition of marriage and the family. The evangelical body, recognizing the agenda and scope of this movement, calls upon the citizenry to examine the greater context within which this debate is happening. That is, to ultimately bring about the legalizing of same-sex union in our beloved nation.
Mr. Francis, a member of the DAEC, emphasized that the public be fully aware that the lesbians, gays, bisexual, and intersex persons movement is international.
And we are in full support of the Prime Minister's decision that the Boundary laws will not be removed off the books now or in the foreseeable future. We agree with that, because once you begin to repeal laws, then the pressure is going to come to enact new legislation in favor of the LGBTI movement. If we follow the news right now, in France, there is major protest over the legalizing of same-sex union. All throughout Europe, all throughout the United States, that movement is on. In Asia, it is becoming more and more prominent. So there's a global movement, and we are saying as a church in Dominica, we need to stand against that particular move now.
We are not going to condemn anyone. The gospel has power to deliver men from sin, and we believe firmly homosexuality is a sin like adultery and fornication that one needs to be cleansed from, and in a case maybe needs deliverance from, Mr. Francis stated. The association is calling not just on the members, but people with deep spiritual conviction to rise against this matter.
Romans 1 and the last verse is very powerful. It says, those who know in the judgment of God, but not only them, but people who give credence or who sympathize, who take pleasure out of them are also implicated in the action. And we need to understand that. It's not just those who practice homosexuality, but those who give a hand or support to it, according to Romans 1 and the last verse, they are implicated, they are culpable. The judgment of God will be thrown on them as well. And we encourage people to go and revisit Romans 1 and the last verse, I think it is.
The DAEC membership includes the Pentecostal, Christian Union Mission, and Baptist churches. In other news, the government of Dominica, in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank, officially launched the Basic Need Trust Fund 7th Program Project on Wednesday, May 29th. This occasion marks the continuation of a long and lasting partnership between the Caribbean Development Bank and the government of Dominica, as together we work to improve the standard of living of the poor and vulnerable in our communities, said Project Manager of the Basic Needs Trust Fund, Mr. Matthew Carrett.
As CDB's regional poverty reduction program, the BNTF mission to provide resource to poor communities in order to improve access to basic public services and enhance employability, which could reduce beneficiaries' economic and social vulnerability to risk, is been manifested by the positive outcomes that we see every day in the lives that have been impacted on by the program. BNTF has remained faithful to Dominica with a legacy which began in 1979 and has continued uninterrupted till present.
He added the BNTF continues to champion the cause to assist at a time when global economic woes make it extremely difficult for struggling economies such as Dominica to provide much needed assistance to communities. Portfolio Manager of the BNTF Social Sector Division of the Caribbean Development Bank, Mrs. Darren Newman Belgrave, noted this program launch can be seen as a new era of their continued interest and commitments to reducing poverty. This will be demonstrated through a much better focused program.
At present, we've launched the BNTF 7 project in, so far, Montserrat and Belize, and now in Dominica. And we really want to build much closer relations with a number of very important planners, advocates, and community residents. We know that there's strength within civil society, within community groups, and we must champion these and utilize them to full advantage. There are also a lot of strength within government, business communities, and we want to make sure that this time around we put much more emphasis on that.
This program will focus in the direction of community ownership and leadership and increased economic activity. Mrs. Belgrave noted out of the $51.74 million that has been approved for BNTF 7, Dominica's allocation is $3.9 million. We will diligently work along with the government to target these resources to create much better conditions for people who are most in need, stated Mrs. Belgrave. The North Grand Forks and the Marigot water supply, in addition to 94 sub-projects, were all completed in Dominica by the end of 2012 through BNTF 5 with a grant allocation of $5.6 million. BNTF 7 will focus on 3 core sectors: education and human resource development, water and sanitation, and community access and drainage.
This cycle also focuses on directly supporting youth at risk and other vulnerable groups, doing more to promote gender equality, environmental and disaster risk management, and citizen security. So we're very confident that the launch of BNTF 7 will deepen the spirit of community development, self-reliance and resilience amongst residents of some of the most vulnerable locations in Dominica and the rest of the region. The bank, Caribbean Development Bank, has worked with a Managing for Development Results agenda, and that includes an action plan to further strengthen performance. BNTF fully adopts that Managing for Development Results agenda. It has institutionalized it, and we're shifting the culture away from focusing too much on inputs, but what are the longer term benefits, the results, the changes which are actually happening in people's lives.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit stated the BNTF is specifically geared towards poverty alleviation, economic growth, while their programs create avenues for employment. He said the partnership the government has with the BNTF is one that will take the people of Dominica to the next level, a level that will empower families to meet their basic needs.
It is important that we are reminded that we are operating at a time when resources are very limited. Many of our main development partners and donors are themselves challenged in the same way that we are. We therefore must ensure that the resources are well spent. The move to placing greater focus on development outcomes is indeed a welcome event. We see this as a way of ensuring that our projects are well targeted, and that the objective of poverty reduction is achieved with each project implemented. I therefore ask that our consultants, contractors, workers, and monitors of the projects to be implemented to strengthen oversight and management.
And in more stories, in such a small country where opportunities and international exposure for music artists is limited, few are afforded the opportunity to showcase their talent and receive recognition on an international level. Portsmouth-based music group COB, consisting of 6 individuals, is making a name for themselves outside the boundaries of Dominica, as they are the first Dominican group to receive a nomination in the 11th International Soca Awards being held in Grenada on August 6, 2013. The group COB, which means coming hard on every beat, has been nominated for one of their fan favorite video entitled Beautiful, featuring Asher Thomas. According to a member who writes songs for the group, Mr. Chevron Ambo, this video is currently being played on local TV and radio stations across Dominica and the rest of the Caribbean.
Like with this award, I mean, maybe somewhere along the line we might think of it more, but at least for now, we're just having fun with music and we're getting recognition in Dominica, and recognition feels good. And it's like we're making it for ourselves, and if other people like it too, then it's also great.
How does the group feel towards being nominated for this 11 Soca International Awards?
Well, like I said, it's an awesome feeling because it's not like we sent up a letter to them saying, hey, we have this video and we want you guys to consider it. They messaged us, and like we would say out of the blue, we didn't even know there was that show going on before they messaged us. So it was just like great to see that a song we just made because we were having fun a day, and we were like, let's take it to the next level, let's bring in somebody, and we brought in Asher, and we had Ambo Visuals do a video for us, and you know, it's like I said, it's just the fun things that we put together, and then hey, somebody says this can be the best song for 2013 in this genre that is R&B and pop, so it's like, it's awesome.
Mr. Ambo stated since the group started 3 years ago, the public has been very supportive, especially as what they do is an avenue for keeping out of negative activities. Some of their popular songs, he noted, are Take My Hand, Beautiful, Magic Touch, and Party. He added they are very thankful to Ambo Visuals for the videos they recorded, providing them with much needed recognition locally and internationally. Producer of the group, Mr. Bertis Jeffers, who is a founding member of COB, says he is pleased that they are nominated for this award for doing something they love, music.
Yeah, we wrote all our songs. The process of that is, if you get the beat and you feel the beat, you write the chorus and then everybody write the verse. When I say write out the group, I don't mean like I write in everybody part in specific. I might just write the chorus and I'll give it to someone to sing, and then everybody has to write the verse on their own, but everybody get their own lyrics.
So where does the members of the group get the inspiration from in writing?
Well, I mean, on a day-to-day basis, we'll say, when you listen to the beat, you might have some problem with your girlfriend, and you'll just see that just come in your mind to just jot that down, and then when you see the group members, you talk to them and you tell them that's what you have, and if they can relate, then they will do something on the beat.
He added the public's help is very important as they are currently on a fundraising drive to purchase tickets for the group to attend the 11th International Soca Awards being held in Grenada on August 6, 2013. Each ticket costs $500, so all donations we receive is appreciated and we will go a long way in funding this trip, said Mr. Jeffers. This is such a huge accomplishment for the group. It also helps in giving Dominica more international exposure. Persons interested in making donations to this trip can call Mr. Bertis Jeffers on telephone number 767-617-1629. Here are the instructions on how to vote for the group's music video.
It's www.socaawards.com, SOCAAWARDS.com, and you just have to vote for all the categories, but specifically you have to vote for COB for us to win our category. There's also a widget that is available, which is a direct link
that allows you to vote for just one category, which would be our own, which is available on our COB Facebook wall. So we just want to say thank you for everybody that has voted. We waiting for more votes. I mean, we wouldn't know if you vote in, but we have it in our hearts that we know that we are getting support. So we just want to say thank you to those people, and to the people that do not know and will be finding out, and to say thank you to you too for voting, and we hope we get that support. Thank you.
One more thing, and to thank God for keeping us alive, keeping us up, and keeping us doing what we're doing, because if that hand just stop move, and that hand stop move, we cannot produce no songs. So I want to thank God, thank our parents that help us, give us education, so that we can write songs with meaning. I want to say thanks to all. COB, Dominica, remember that.
Remember, you must vote in all categories for your vote to be counted. They are nominated in the Caribbean, Dance/Pop/R&B/Rap of the Year, category number 31. Go to www.socaawards.com. Number 2, vote in every category, and when you get to category number 31, vote COB Beautiful featuring Asher Thomas. Take a look at the video they have been nominated for.
You beautiful thing, you one of a kind, you one of a million, always on my mind. I wonder how to live without you, I wonder how it feels without you. You beautiful, one of a kind.
I ain't tryna get another boo, cause your love, I ain't get it from the mother boo. No lies, be patient, baby. Take you all around the world, vacation, baby. Cruise, times for fun where we could chill at the pack and laugh and run. Cause in this life, you only got a chance to live one time. So you gotta make it count. Live it up without a doubt. And even if I had a million chances, you the one I choose to spend my life with. Cause baby, you're beautiful.
Your support and donations will be greatly appreciated, said the members. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.